On April 14th, Brigadier General Richard W. Wharton invited various representatives of the Gallup and Grants, New Mexico communities, the Zuni, Acoma, Laguna Pueblos, and Navajo tribes, and members of the National Park Service and Bureau of Land Management to come to White Sands. While here, this group saw a multiple launch rocket system firing, recovery of the rocket, and a simulated booster drop. The simulation was a Black Brant booster which had the same velocity and half the weight of the Hera booster. Also in attendance was a group of local congressional staffers and members of SSDC from Huntsville, Alabama. When asked how they felt about what they saw today, here are some of the responses.
Oh, I thought it was very professional. It was carried out real well. I don't see much of a problem with what we're trying to do down here, or what they're trying to do up at Fort Wingate.
A little bit of apprehension and some positive thoughts, because the changing of the booster drop zones has changed the fact about closing Highway 53, which runs east and west through the Zuni Reservation. In the original draft EIS, it was stated that that highway would probably be closed for about 70 minutes of each launch, but I just learned that this will not happen. We have a lot of tourist traffic that comes through Highway 53, and our craftsmen in Zuni depend on the tourist trade for a living. So with not closing the highways and moving the drop zone out of the Zuni mountain area from the heavily forested area, puts a little more positive note on my way of thinking this morning. Is from the military perspective, in that this is a defense that has to be tested, and it's something that is needed for our defensive unit.
Well, it was, first of all, quite an experience to see actually what happens when the missiles are launched, when there's recovery. And it appears to me that so long as there's safety and control, it's a good space type program for USA.
Today what I saw, that is a lot different. Of course, from the beginning, I didn't attend for a public hearing that was held in Gallup, or I was never informed from the first time how this missile launch, how is it going to work, or the booster drop zone. And the one that I saw today seems to me, it's a whole lot different to me, the way my staff, my other administration staff, that they inform me.
Prior to my visit here, I had a few concerns, and like anybody else, some fears about the whole proposed plan. But my visit here today led me to believe that the operation could be safe. I think what would be very necessary is for you all to come and do a little bit more, give us a little bit more information, make people aware through series of visits that this is or at least get rid of a lot of their fears.
Well, I was quite amazed at the rocket launching and also the drop-off, and what I have seen seems like the impact that I have interpreted prior is not that dramatic, or is not that severe, I would say.
When asked how their tribal constituents or organizations would feel if they had been here to see the day's activities at White Sands, this is what they said.
I think that with the professionalism that was demonstrated today, the city of Gallup would be more than happy to host the launching of the missiles in this area.
I imagine they'd probably have have questions in their mind, like I do, about the site itself in Fort Wingate. Is it going to be a permanent structure, or is it going to be a mobile structure? How many people will be coming to Wingate? Are they going to stay? For how long are they going to stay? how much of an area is going to be disturbed by the launching of the missiles because of the some of the religious and use of these shrines. At present time, we have several medicine clans that use some shrines that are situated on the Fort Wingate, southwestern part of the Fort Wingate area. Those shrines are still being used by some of these religious societies.
And like I again would say, so long as their safety, if they can see this for themselves, they would be very impressed of what's taking place.
Like I said, at the meeting that was held in Gallup, was never really have a good, clear understanding on that. But if they see this here, and I'm pretty sure that they would understand more.
The only concern that I have is the people in Alamo, because the drop zone is adjacent. In fact, it includes a little bit of Alamo. That's going to be, it's going to require a lot of work in trying to educate the people. It's not only going to be your responsibility, but if the Navajo Nation overall supports your plans, then it's going to be our responsibility to go to Alamo and educate them as well. So that means a little bit more work for us if that's the direction we're going to take. But I think the president would be pleased with if he were to have been here, he would be pleased with it. And I believe that he would be open-minded about the whole thing, and he'd be willing to listen, and he would also listen to the community people as well.
If I brought my organization down, the whole crew, the decision maker, I believe they would be amazed, and I believe they would pick up how well organized this place is and how well organized the missile launching is, and the pickup and whatever personnel that are involved. I will try and re-educate them. I think the first round that they have been misled into many different information that, in fact, maybe a good part of it were all rumors, how the Army operates and what have you. But now I have seen it and I have witnessed things that are taking place. I believe they would agree with what's being proposed.